Oh, that was a lot of stupid. Well, hello there, and welcome to the video. So, I just got done watching Star Trek Discovery, Season 5, Episode 9. Yeah, that was an episode of Discovery. It was the penultimate episode of Discovery. We only have one more left until the end of this dreadful, dreadful, dreadful series. Now, before I get into my review, if you are new here and you like the videos that I do, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified about new videos, then please hit that notification bell icon thingamajig. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and leave a comment. Now, this episode, episode 9 of the final season of Discovery, was just plain ridiculous in so many ways. Now, I won't go into it too much detail for the episode. Saru came back. He's back. He's bought his fiancée flowers, which I suppose was very nice of him. He attended a meeting at Federation HQ where they discussed the fact that another Breen ship is on its way to the progenitors tech, and it's a different house or a different faction of the Breen. They get in touch with Discovery and say, come on, get a move on, repair your ship, and go to the coordinates. So Discovery has to jump there, but they can't jump with complete accuracy exactly where they need to go. So they jump and they end up in the orbit of a black hole. I say an orbit, they end up nearly in the black hole, which would have been a far more interesting episode, I would say, perhaps. Anyway, they can't figure out why they can't escape this black hole because, you know, why wouldn't they be able to escape a black hole? It's just a black hole. They discover that there's a second black hole, and it's two primordial black holes. They get out of the gravitational pull of this black hole and discover that the progenitors tech is just in between these two black holes, and it's in like a little steel drum can, something the size of a shuttle, although it really isn't the size of a shuttle. It's more like an escape pod. But hey ho, we can't expect any degree of perfection from these people. They are, after all, writing an episode of Discovery. So, oh god, this is just stupid. They're devising a way to get this tech on, you know, from between the two black holes and get it on board the ship. But while they're trying to figure it out, the Breen come in and do it anyway. Tractor it straight in. They warp in, they tractor it, it's in the ship, the Breen have it. So Mole has the big steel drum can, which actually looks like it's Borg technology. And I can't say that I would be in any way surprised if they used some sort of Borg technology to do it at this point. Discovery's become so unoriginal, it's laughable. It's up to Burnham and our motley crew to plan a heist because the Breen think that they're dead, and they think it's a good idea to dress up as Breen and try and ram a shuttle through the shields of the Breen ship, which they portray as sort of trying to go through an atmosphere and the shuttle will burn up and blow up. And yeah, they transport in, which was really stupid. It's Michael Burnham's plan, of course, because Michael Burnham has to come up with all the plans. And so Burnham book, I can't remember the guy's name. Fuck, it escapes me. And I believe it's Adira. They are on the Breen ship and they've got to try and get close to the big steel drum can, Borgified cylinder type thing, and attach a transporter relay to it so they can beam it out and Discovery can jump immediately after. Mole, meanwhile, has opened it up using the key MacGuffin type thing that they've been searching for this entire season. She opens it up and there's like a portal gateway, and she sends a few officers in, sends a few Breen in, and they just vanish without a trace, which in a portal you would imagine it would happen. They would go to wherever the progenitors are. So yeah, Discovery has got to basically transport it back to Discovery. But I'll cut the long story short. There's a series of goofy moments where they're nearly discovered and they have to, you know, imitate Breen, and Burnham comes up with the answers to all the problems in a split second, suddenly knows everything there is to know about Breen technology. She's able to just Mary Sue her way out of any any situation. Absolute joke. And I read a post on social media lately where people were trying to say Burnham's not a Mary Sue because she's the main character. That doesn't matter. A Mary Sue's a Mary Sue. She has the answer to everything. She's had no hardships. People say, oh, well, she went to prison. She was, she was a traitor. She was demoted. She went to prison. She didn't end up in prison. She got diverted from prison to Discovery, and there she began her road to redemption. She didn't do any hard time. Come on. Anyway, I digress. The plan fails because of Discovery's stupidity. And the stupidity of the writers and the fact that they think this stuff is interesting. Ultimately, Moll and Burnham end up going through the portal. Discovery has the idea to ram the Breen ship in the big force field opening that's at the front of the Breen ship. Ram through it and vent it out into space, because once again it's Burnham's idea. She sends Rayner a coded message to do so. They punch her through this shield, and everything gets vented out into space, including the steel drum can, which I think just explodes and reveals the portal thingamajig in space between these two black holes. Are you still with me? Because this seems so surreal. It's explaining things that happened in this episode. It was unreal. This was just beyond stupid. Burnham and Moll are now in the progenitor's dimension, or wherever the progenitors are, and we're going to find out next episode what happens with that. This episode was stupid. Rayner again was relegated to looking after the ship and being Burnham's backup, and proves to be pretty much useless, as does most of Discovery in most of what they do. The story is simply going from one place to another without any exposition as to why, any explanation as to why. They just go somewhere, things happen, and they go somewhere else, things happen, they go somewhere else. And they just end up wherever the writers want them to end up, however inexplicably that may happen. It is ridiculous at this point to give a flying fuck about these characters or what's happening. It's the penultimate episode of a really terrible series. It's awful. Jonathan Frakes directing this episode is no mark of quality. It's just not anymore. He's directing Discovery. If he's directing an episode of The Orville, I might be interested. I might say, you know what, he did a good job with that. But you can't really tell that Jonathan Frakes directed this episode, because it's just another episode of Discovery that was badly written, so contrived, so bloody convenient with everything. It's Burnham having the answer to everything. At least 3 times in this episode she comes up with a plan on the spot. She's suddenly able to understand Breen. She understands how to use Breen technology almost instantly. It's an absolute joke. It's ridiculous, and I'm so glad this show is nearly over. I mean, they're all wearing these. I mean, God, it's so stupid. They're all wearing these Breen helmets, and they all do the Iron Man kind of camera angle, right? It's just on their face, and they've got heads-up displays and everything. They really overused that. It's absolutely ridiculous. And but now you've got Book, unnamed crewmen that I say is unnamed simply because I can never remember his bloody name. Is it Reese? No, Reese. No, it's not Reese. Oh, I don't know who the hell it is. Adira and Book. They've all got the bloody Iron Man helmets on, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, for people who aren't familiar with my channel, my videos, or what I do, you might ask, why is he watching it if he doesn't like it? The reason I watch this show is because it's got the brand name Star Trek. It's claiming to be Star Trek, even though it is quite simply not Star Trek. It was never Star Trek. They were half trying. There was a little bit of effort put in here and there, but this is not Star Trek. This is nutrek, and it's absolute dog shit at this point. I watched this show to review it for my channel, so if you like my videos, then please remember to hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, and the like button. I will go into more detail with this episode in my live stream tomorrow with my co-hosts, and we will sit there and try and break down a little bit more of this episode. So I do hope you'll join me for that. That will be tomorrow night, Friday night at 10 o'clock UK time. So do join me for that and join in on the conversation. It's a chance for you to also put your thoughts across about what you felt about this episode, and hopefully I'll get around to answering some of those chats, super chats, whatever it is, whatever comes up on the screen. So it's a good way for us to, believe it's become known as the group therapy session, so that's pretty good in itself. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on this episode. It was pretty dire. I no doubt left a bunch out, but I really don't care at this point. It was just another way to put off something important until the last episode, which I can pretty much imagine is going to be complete and utter dirt. Discovery has been the Michael Burnham show. Nothing is new. Now Burnham's going off to visit the progenitors, or at least try and get her hands on the progenitors tech. No doubt she'll discover that she's the key to everything, and that she seeded life itself in the galaxy, because she will have to be the most powerful being in all of Star Trek. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and all of the usual YouTube gumph. And I will see you tomorrow for my live stream, which is going to be a funny one, talking about this episode. So I do hope you'll join me for that. Until the series finale, you look after yourselves. You look after one another. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. And as I fall back to my shelter, I know I'll